Oh my god. What a day. My skin is acting up. And I'm just like, hashtag done. Okay, so I'm freezing. You can probably see from the fact that I'm like wrapped in a blanket. And just kind of discombobulated. So let's recombobulate. As I think we approach Act 6, possibly, maybe. Hanging out in good Doc's place. The home face has been replaced with blank face. He's got a lot of neat stuff. I think he needs to get some color in there. So, tick. Naturally, the thief knew this was her intent all along. She knew the seer would have understood the outcome that was to be rigged, and that she likely intended to kill her as a consequence of the fixed result. This was to be seen as an implicit dare to the thief to allow the flip to fall fairly. Something which the seer knew the thief's ego wouldn't allow. And the seer knew the thief knew this all as well. Just another pair of cheaters attempting to play with their cards face up. Amateurs. Talk. Each was gambling, not with any vehicle of probability, which had been eliminated from the equation, but with each other's intentions. The thief indeed took the seer's bait, stealing the luck needed to effect the flip in defiance of her dare. And in turning to leave, she then posed a dare of her own to the seer, challenging her to back up the implied threat. This was the thief's gamble. She wagered the seer would not be able to go through with it. It turned out she was right. Terracy. So ends a tale of rivalry. Well, almost. There's a bit more. But in order to understand its proper conclusion, we should first catch up with another one of my proteges, from whom I'm expecting a message shortly. The other seer. The other hero of light. Tick. What was that? Talk. Tick. Talk. Round 2. Well, they've been blowing shit up. That's really cool. I need to draw him at some point. Here we left our human hero of light. She flew away to take vengeance on the noir this side of the scratch. That is, the one less angry and dangerous. The one not yet unmotivated by a compelling duel. Alcalo parry? Damn. Shit's gonna get intense. Compelling, but not particularly challenging. Tentacles. They're like viney, thorny tentacles. The seer wouldn't win this duel. My apologies if this spoils the outcome for you. I can't speak as discreetly about such matters against this canvas. Tick. I warned her. I warned my neophyte protege not to stare into that ball. Talk. It's not real. I told her about stairs. I don't know if I can actually make that face. I tried. Moving on. I'll remind you that the pacing of my account will be characterized by a reduction in granularity from what you have come to expect by way of an undamaged disc. You will imagine the remainder of the duel to be sensational, and I will continue my steady distribution of facts as if they were pieces of candy poured from a bottomless white hemisphere. The duel ends. The seer dies. The slayer departs. The heir comes back to life. This outcome was hardly a point of suspense, as I pointed out previously. It would be disingenuous of me to present it as such, and I will not belittle your intelligence with such tawdry narrative ploy. It would be rude, and I am too well dressed for that kind of behavior. If there truly stood some chance of permanence to the heir's corpsehood, I can hear you asking now, how could this moment later come to pass? I'm supposing that was farther in the future. I wasn't paying that much attention. Now that I'm thinking about it, he was wearing the lunch muffs, wasn't he? And wearing his god tier robes. I was too busy paying attention to Karkat's end of that conversation. Lol. And for that matter, what sort of story would this be, with our human hero of breath made to stay a cadaver? Definitely not one the Alpha timeline would allow. And what sort of spectator would you be? If you'd forgotten the terms within the conditional immortality he won with his previous, similarly unceremonious impaling. He'd done nothing to earn martyrdom. By which we might laud his fall as heroic. Nor has he tasted notoriety. To secure a death one may parse just. And while I can't give you my assurance, it makes it look like he has a really creepy grin on his face. I'm reasonably convinced of this much. When the hero of breath dies for good, it won't be as a scoundrel. But not for lack of a devoted mentor. If I had served as his mentor directly, rather than as his mentor's mentor's mentor, he may have stood a fair chance of perpetrating something underhanded. At the very least, his jokes might have been better. Instead, he got her. The hero of light, always bugging him, bugging and fussing and meddling. What's her deal? This was to be expected. Let's find out. Here goes Vriska. I mentioned there was a bit more to her story. I believe it's time to resume it. I trust you won't mind if I step away for a moment. I have important guests arriving very soon. If you need me, I'll be up here, making sure everything is in order, which it already is, and keeping an eye, which I don't have, on the clock, which I don't need. Tick. Tock. More flying. To Skya. Tick. Tock. Bonk. You're going down. Tick. You fucking kidding me? Tock. Too old for this shit. Hey, where are you going? Tick. God damn it. Tock. Huh? Tick. Tock. Apologies for my preoccupation. I have managed to pacify the rowdier of the other two guests with sugary little black dogs, so that I may continue my narration. But only briefly. In a moment, I will go stand over by my typewriter and teach my neophyte protege the consequences for taking advice from strange men over the internet, while I continue to attend to my second guest, who is you from an earlier point in the story. Remember? We met here in my apartment a little while ago. At that moment, I was busy hosting you from the future, who is you right now, but I did not mention this at the time. I would have introduced your past self to your future self and vice versa, but it is a well-known fact that past and future selves tend not to get along. A good host would never tolerate the potential for discord among guests, and as hosts go, I am simply the best there is. Please don't be alarmed. Past you was just leaving. Where was I? Ah, of course. The two heroes of light had challenged the same Jack Noir, the one straddling the scratch in about 20 hours of his own time, to a circumstantially simultaneous pair of duels. Circumstantial simultaneity is a concept more complex than its temporal analog, and is valuable for examining the properties of paradox space. It is the agent responsible for the major cosmic event which pre-extinction Alternians come to refer as the Great Undoing. The same concept rules the innumerable lesser events by which this critical moment shall be catalyzed, including the break, my employer's arrival, the detonation of a very powerful bomb, and my own death. It is an abstraction weaving together the fortunes of otherwise perfectly disparate chronologies, such as those bound by a pair of distinct sessions. It's not fully comprehensible to a mortal mind, and the length I will go to explain it to you will not extend beyond this sentence. But the story will. The Slayer was, for the moment, unmotivated by the thief's motion for a compelling duel. This side of the scratch, he opted for a more ruthless and calculating policy of extermination. On his arrival, not about to repeat the mistakes leading to his banishment, he quickly obliterated all 12 planets, followed by Prospect and Durs, to weed out those who might outsmart him in the same manner. With as little fanfare, he seized the opportunity to follow the thief's trail quickly before it dissipated, and destroy their hideout in the Veil. Oh, Paradox Space. And now knowing her position, he would soon return for the duel he wanted. But not without a pair of trophies. Damn. He murdered the shit out of everybody. Tick. Tock. And she's clearly outraged. It's a mixture of outrage and fear. You can tell from the curl of her lip. Doc Scratch, you are tiny. Isn't he like only 4 feet tall? That's precious. Again, sorry for the interruption. My conversation with the girl ran a bit long, slightly exceeding the 1 second I scheduled for it. This is where events begin to outpace my awareness. The deeper into this dark pocket we explore, the more I will be forced to speculate. I really have cause to rely on probability, but luckily for you, my guesses are better than anybody's. I wonder if there's like a reason for the particular color sequencing in addition to the letters. Excuse me. I have always believed that a good storyteller should keep a comprehensive record of past events on hand. A scrapbook of personal significance, for instance, from which he may piece together the current moments from past ones of a similar, if not identical, nature. It's more efficient. Talk. It's also logical, since there is essentially nothing new in Paradox Space. Everything that can happen is either a visual or substantive reproduction of something which has already transpired on a timeline, offshoot or otherwise. Which is why Vriska just arriving there, and Prospect and Durs and all the planets getting blown up and them hiding in the Veil had already happened, despite the fact that it had just happened 2 pages ago. This is not difficult to grasp. Tick. And if I'm going to speculate on this duel, I might as well make use of earlier clippings. For the Slayer, this was round 1 against the Hero of Light. Talk. Found the lighter. I don't have any cigars. All I really need to do is flip it turnways, like so, and we have round 2.
It's 2:30.
Straight. Although I think they called it something different. I don't know. I'm kind of like, right now. The thief would probably roll her dice. And just as probably, due to her impressive hoard of stolen fortune, she would have a 100% chance of rolling the most favorable result. Ordinarily, this result would be almost impossibly improbable. The odds of the roll would be 1 in 16,777,216, to be specific. That's how many colors there are in the RGB system. That's 256 times 256? Times 256. Yeah, 256 cubed. And to be less specific, 1 in... where y equals 8. Tick. Wishing for a translation. Pull the fire alarm. He's lit the place on fire. Talk. It's a magic raving light show. I hate raves. Tick. Oh, she has achieved Mind Fang. Yeah, Mind Fang form. I was going to say something different, and then that came out. Spinneretta, spinneretta. Doc. In round 2, the Slayer would not be merely compelled, but challenged, if my guess is right. Challenged by one claiming godhood before reaping the prodigious spoils from striking down a formidable endgame foe, one with the guile of a cheater, the luck of a clover, the hubris of her mentor, and the drive known only to the pathologically competitive. I believe he'd be challenged, yes. Tick. Well, shoot. But not outmatched. As one who shares the Slayer's source of power, my projection must give him the unambiguous advantage. But even so, will I continue not to be a gambling man? That's a split infinitive. Grr. That didn't stop being a thing that was true or anything. Talk. I'm reasonably sure that if I was, I wouldn't bet against her. Moving on. Let's pull back from this ever-narrowing dark pocket. All this uncertainty is wearing thinner than the only pair of pants in an immortal's wardrobe. You need to get some new clothes, babe. I've never much enjoyed navigating the vortices of alternative possibility. The path which alone has my absolute mastery is the alpha timeline. A continuum I define as that which boasts exclusive rights, both to my birth and to my death, two circumstantially simultaneous events. Any divergence from this path to my knowing will taper into blackness like rotting roots. But if I was a seer, such offshoots would be fully within my domain. And if I was a seer of mind in particular, synaptic causality would be my specialty. A seer of mind would have given you a more reliable account, perhaps. But then, she would do many things I wouldn't. Tick. Awesome. A seer would support her allies in battle not with her weapons, but her vision. She would sift through the dross of her comrades' poor tactical inclinations and examine the grim consequences. A seer would not charge into the fray headlong, but direct it as a conductor with a baton. She would have the sight to eschew the obvious gambits, and find the path to victory, disguised cleverly as setback, or even imminent defeat. She would behold the fortunes of friends and foes in totality, and appraise the contrivance of luck itself. She would know its mines were not to be plundered, but simply explored and charted carefully. Talk. Oh, shit's going cray. 4:14. A true seer would know where luck is a given, where it is absent, and most importantly, where it doesn't matter at all. Tick. And she would know victory doesn't matter in reality where all else is doomed to fail. Talk. It's not going to work. I can't let you do that, Vriska. What sort of story would this be, with our knight and seer made to stay cadavers? Certainly not one the alpha timeline would allow. Well, you never know, a bunch of people did die. Tick. And not one she'd allow either. Talk. I suppose that's an appropriate death. Tick. Talk. Down she goes. Tick. Talk. Her eyebrows are furrowed in such a way that she really didn't want to do that. Okay, so Tarzi. Tick. I found this. I didn't write that. That implies that Gamzee was the one who wanted sloppy makeouts. Doc. Connie? Solix? Aw, they're hugging. He's just glad she's safe. Tick. Aw. Doc. Honk. Honk. Tick. And that message. Talk. Let's see. Times 8. Times 8 times 8 times 8 times 8 times 8 times 8 times 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7? That's only 7? If the first one counts, I guess. All of the dots, John. All 16.777216 million of them. Still dead, huh? Or are you too busy weeping over her corpse to pick up that headset and answer me? You can't fool me, John. I know you're not staying dead for long. And it is not just because I can clearly see you're alive in the future. You see, we are both the best there is, and therefore we have special privileges when it comes to mortality. It's hard to keep a god dead for good. We can only die under very specific circumstances. Didn't I mention? Circumstances. Tick, tock. Good. Ah, shit. It's too big. It's funny that the corruption side is Durst. The Prospect side is for heroic. Also, I'm looking at these gator thingies and I'm kind of laughing because I know stuff. Nothing too glorious about the way you just died, I bet. Let me guess, even after all my lessons, you allowed yourself to get sucker stabbed, right? Pretty lame. I mean, lucky for you it was lame. I guess being lame pays off when dying a hero is what's get you killed. A dying hero is what gets you killed. If our hero of breath reached God's ear, he would have been completely indestructible. Lol. Damn, I forgot. I was going to stop ripping on that guy since he got stabbed through the chest and died. Whoops. Anyway, I figure you're probably safe from a just death too, since I'm pretty sure you haven't done anything all that despicable. Yet. Stop. I don't know for sure, but I'm betting that if I go to fight Jack, it will wipe out all the bad things I've done. I think if I die, it'll be a hero's death, so it ought to stick. Pretty good motivation to win the fight though, don't you think? One way or another, I think this will be my last big challenge as a gamer. As such, I would like to pass my dice on to you. It is very important to me that they stay in good hands, John, that you continue their legacy and that of my ancestor. 82THE 8TH. 8 to the 8th. Use the code. I'm sure I can count on you to make something awesome with it. Slick, I am serious. Please stop. Shit. That don't look good. Still not alive yet? Man, you better hurry up. She probably doesn't have much time left. Trust me, what she's going through on Durst right now isn't much fun. Okay, I guess I should mention why I'm trying to contact you now of all times, rather than just skipping ahead. Remember how we talked about your backup plan? The one you have devised to beat Jack? In the off chance I fail? Well, it's not going to work if Rose is dead, is it? You have to wake her up. Breathe some life into her. Do the windy thing with your lips. You know what I mean. Oh my. It's interesting, though, that Jack didn't, or wasn't able to kill Rose. Gotta kiss her. Don't worry, I still can't see you, so there is no reason to be bashful or anything. And since we are a couple of professionals here who are focused on winning, we both know it doesn't have any meaning. It's not like I would be jealous even if I could see. Why would I be? Or maybe that didn't even cross your mind. Man, why are we still talking about this? She's getting flustered. Oh my, oh my, oh my. This will not do at all. Let's just forget I said that. This isn't really how I wanted this conversation to go. I guess I was assuming you'd be talking back by now. So now I'm just talking and spinning my wheel device like an idiot. Maybe I don't actually know how I want it to go. I guess you could just shut up. I could just shut up and skip ahead on your timeline a little. Talk to you when you're alive. That would make sense. So I guess I will do that. But then maybe if I did, I wouldn't actually say what I wanted to say. So I will just say it. Pardon me while I adjust the narrow fenestrated wall. Oh, shit. Left device. To be honest, I'm nervous about this fight. But I'm still going through with it for a lot of reasons. To save my friends, or at least the ones who are still alive. Oh, and I guess to save reality itself from being totally fucked up. There's that too. But I guess what's motivating me to win this fight the most is the possibility of getting to meet you when it's all over. Maybe I can finally put all this terrible stuff behind me. And I won't have to worry about being the best anymore, or proving what a ruthless killer I can be. Maybe I can try out whatever is supposed to be normal for a human. Who knows? It might not be boring as it sounds. Maybe. If you're not too freaked out by all the bad things I've done, or the fact that I'm an alien, we could go on a date? Let's go. To redirect the view from this impropriety. Oh, goodness. Don't worry. It could be a human date, whatever that entails. No weird alien stuff, I promise. And no killing or murders, or even talking about killing or murders and such. Just whatever you like to talk about, think is cool. I could even be persuaded to watch more of your absurd human films. Do you like any others which feature that rugged human with the long hair and wounded arm? You know the one. The sweaty guy with the mutilated animal and the speech impediment. Those would be tolerable to watch, I bet. Oh, there. Well. He's auspicizing them. Kiss the girl, John. Kiss her. Kiss her. Well, think it over. Before I go, I'll get in touch one more time later on, when you're alive and maybe have something to say about it. Oh yeah, sorry about your adult male guardian. I wasn't trying to be deceptive by not telling you. I decided not to because I didn't want to be the one to make you sad about it. Was that selfish of me? I don't know. You would have found out regardless, like we all did. There are things we care about that we just have to leave behind. It just sucks for those who aren't in as much of a hurry to leave it all behind as me. Wait, someone's coming, hold on. I am a wonderful chaperone as well as an excellent host. Shoo. Oh god, she's wearing her RP outfit. What the hell is she up to? Man, she's got her dumb dragon doll and everything. Guess she means business this time. Damn it, I've gotta go deal with this now. Anyway, if you actually get around to reading any of this, thanks for listening, John. If my outrageously great luck has any say in the matter, we will be meeting up in no time. Just please consider what I said, okay? Later. Tick, tock, tick. Oh, something happened up here. Has something been happening in the past couple pages and I'm not paying attention to it? I'm gonna have to go back and look.